let's talk about some current ones. I guess AJ Usyk's the big one, or should I say Usyk AJ? New trainer now for AJ. I remember actually me and you speaking about this on Box and Social. I think me, you, Rob Tebbett, and I think it might have been Declan. I can't remember. And we started speaking about that. I think we all said that Usyk has got not just a good chance, a great chance of beating AJ the first time round, just because we know how good Usyk is. Now he's beaten AJ, and he seems even more confident. I think he looks a bit thicker as well. I know AJ's got a new trainer, but is it a harder task second time round for AJ than it was the first time now even?
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I think it might be because Usyk's seen him once, and he can be somewhat different the second time, but he can't be that different in terms of the way he boxes and the style he's got and what he brings. He's not going to be that different. Usyk, I just think, can do it any which way.
So good.
And one thing I heard last week, which really set alarm bells ringing with me, was when Anthony was talking about the corner in the previous fight, and he said, I thought I was winning based on what they were telling me. I thought I was boxing really well. I thought I was winning, and I just thought you should have been able to figure out that you weren't winning. And I think the difference between him and Usyk and Fury as well is that, and he's not the only one, but the difference between
if you're going to compare those
a really good fighter and, if you like, an elite level fighter, is that elite level fighters don't need anyone to tell them.
They just know.
They know.
They know.
It reminded me of when Quigg boxed Frampton a few years ago.
Great fight, great atmosphere.
Yeah, I loved that. They press tour, everything. It was brilliant.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah.
And I remember Frampton at one point just saying to Quigg, you cannot beat me. And the reason you can't beat me is because you can't think for yourself. Like you need your trainer to tell you what to do. I can think for myself, and if things are going wrong in there,
I know what to do.
I will figure it out. Shane's a good trainer, but I don't need him to tell me. That's basically what he was saying. And it's the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing. And that's why I think that AJ actually can't beat Usyk or Fury. And maybe most of the rest of the division can't either. I think those two are in a class of their own. And one of the reasons is that they have been doing it longer. Usyk's not been doing it that much longer, but they've both been doing it longer, and they can just figure it out.
He walked in. I was at the press conference in London, and he walked in. Obviously, AJ walks in, and he's very confident within himself, speaks well, knows what he's doing. Usyk walked in as a man that's just going to the shop or something. It's hard to explain. Just kind of whistling. He done a little turn and twirl before he sat down. And normally when I see people do it, I'm like, oh, they're a bit nervous and they're trying to pretend they're not nervous. But he was just super laughing and joking. And then I interviewed him, and he's got these menacing blue eyes. Like, I think they're blue anyway, but they're menacing. They look at you and they're smiling, but at the same time, he's almost like a serial killer.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's almost like he's trying to pretend like he's not, like there's something not quite right. But I don't think I've ever seen someone so, Fury with him actually. Fury's confident, but he's so supremely confident. Yeah, like it's almost like,
and it's really, really convincing, isn't it?
So convincing. So if he's trying to sell something, it's sold. I
always think that's a real interesting thing about fight week. Sometimes when you see someone who maybe you've not seen much in fight week, or maybe never seen in fight week, and you're trying to get a handle on whether their confidence is real.
Yeah.
Whether it's justified or not is another thing. But do they believe in themselves or don't they? And that week, it wasn't just him. It was Egis, Klimas, Alex Krassyuk, all the guys around him. They were so confident. Yeah. I remember being up on the top of the hotel with Andy one day, Andy Scott. He was doing some interviews, and Egis came up, and I think Alex was there as well. And it might have been the day or the day after that Eddie had announced his lifetime deal with AJ. And Alex just said to us, he just said, "What is this lifetime deal? 3 days," and they were so confident,
mate. Almost bordering on arrogance, but it's almost when you've got the horse in the race, like for some reason you just know that I've got the right horse. I'm backing the right horse.
What convinced me about it so much was that you could tell when you spoke to them that they were genuinely, absolutely bewildered by the idea that people were making Joshua favourite.
Yeah.
They couldn't understand it. It was like, but have you never seen our guy?
Yeah.
And we were just saying, but he's not really boxing much a heavyweight. And they're like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think is a hell of a job, kind of it's a hell of a job that Robert Garcia's got to do with AJ, and maybe that's his main job. Basically, is you can tighten up a few little things here and there. But just try and make him believe that he can.
Yeah, I mean,
that he can win.
He's got to go through brick wall to beat him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I remember sitting down with Tony Bellew. We done something for DAZN where it wasn't nice on Tony. We had to go back and watch his fight with Usyk, and you see Tony still watching it, almost bewildered about what's going on as he's telling me what's going on. It's hard to explain. And he's like, Ade, I'm telling you now, from round 2, I knew I was fucked. Like, he's doing things I've not seen before. Like, I'm 100 miles per hour mentally. And I can tell that he's still got gears to go.
Yeah.
And then it got to round 4 or 5 and I knew I was gone. Like, he said it, there was, we're watching it, I think it's round 5 and he's like, I'm gone there. And I can't see it. I'm like, but you still look like, he said, no, I'm gone. Yeah. I can tell because there's nothing in the gas tank. And I can feel that this guy is not breathing heavily and there's still loads more left. And then he said, that's when I realised this is the best fighter I've ever been in with. Amateur or pro, he's just too good for me. And that scares me. When I was thinking, and obviously I'm a big AJ fan, I was like, oh. When I heard that, I was like, God, AJ's got a problem here. If he can't dent him, like really dent him, and I haven't seen AJ dent anyone properly for a long time, then I don't know what he's going to do. And as much as everyone says AJ is a lot bigger and stronger, AJ is bigger. I mean, it looks more muscular, but Usyk's quite thick as well. He's not small. He's, you know what I mean? Like, AJ's taller, but Usyk's actually quite wide. Yeah. So he's not a small boy himself either.
No, we're not. You're not talking. In
heavyweight fury terms, to Usyk.
No, in heavyweight terms, you're not talking a massive difference because Usyk will probably be about 220 by now, I reckon.
Yeah.
And Anthony, generally his best weight's about 240, 245, isn't it?
That's not that.
So it's not that
Everyone
much.
makes it look like bloody David and Goliath. It's not that.
If you're thinking about